Hey everybody, this is Soger. I've been asked to do this video a couple of times, going over my mods list. So we're going to go over them. Well, the mods I currently use, and probably the only ones I'm ever going to use, unless it's a Civilization mod for a specific game, are Better Report Screen, Community Quick User Interface or CQI, Envoy Quest List, Extended Policy Cards, Great Works Viewer, Quick Deals with the Open Border extension, and Global Relations Panel made by Sikaratz. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he makes a lot of mods and they're very good quality. I just choose not to use any other than the Global Relations Panel. All right, so now let's go over what these mods actually do, starting with number one, Better Report Screen. It does exactly what it says. It just makes your report screens a little bit more let's say it provides more information. They're more there's a lot more going on here. But what I like is on the city panel right here, the city report screen, it gives me everything I need to know when I'm playing. At a very quick look, one, I can see if the city's following my religion, if I'm doing a religious game, or if my religion is vital to the strategy I'm employing. Two, I can very quickly see the happiness level for every city plus the amenities. I know this is in the original report screen as well. I just feel this is a better layout. You got the population going on right here, the population versus the housing and any issues that might be there, loyalty issues, your governor placement, and all your districts. And for me, the big one is whether or not there's a trade route in the city, because I like when my cities are growing to have a trade route in every city. And if I have trade hubs in the cities to extend my routes. Well, not just this, but all of my mods are quality of life mods. Nothing adds like added like usability in game. It just makes things easier. And when I'm looking to like where I want to put my trade route and stuff. It just saves me time if I can open up the city panel and see which cities have trade routes. All right, going on to the next one. I'm going to jump around a little bit just because I'm going to leave CQI for the very last one. Extended policy cards is what adds these numbers on the bottom that tells you the amount you're getting for each policy card. This is super, super important. When I played on an iPad before I got a PC for years, and to do the math to figure out how much each card was providing was just excruciating. There was a lot of guess and check. What I will say is this isn't 100% accurate. These numbers are mostly accurate, but every once in a while, the numbers won't be completely accurate. But why this is important is you look at something like these population cards, and a lot of people will plug these in, and they don't provide much of anything unless you're doing a huge empire. Once again, this is it just makes it a lot easier. A lot of times I default to the same cards just because I got so used to what they provide and just knowing from years of not having any mods. But still, it's really nice if you're just looking for maximum gold per turn that you can go is triangular trade versus economic union better for just gold per turn? Is colonial taxes versus merchant confederation better for just gold per turn? If you're looking for just a specific yield, this really helps. And two, if you aren't as familiar with what the policy card is actually doing, these are very huge because a lot of times the policy card doesn't not that it doesn't do it, but it doesn't do what the player thinks it does, even though it very specifically says one thing. So I'm a really big fan of the extended policy cards. Next, I'm gonna just jump in and do quick deals. Quick deals is huge. It's just a huge time saver because I put a luxury in. It tells me what everyone's willing to pay. This much like extended policy cards, what I will say is Quick Deals does not always provide the best price. It provides the best price that the creator of the mod created the mod to give you. You can go in a lot of times and adjust these prices and actually get better outcomes. Not so much late game, but early game by adding like open borders or diplomatic favor, or trading strategics and specific amounts. But this is if you're just looking for the quick, I just want to slap a luxury in, sell it to the highest bidder, and go. This is huge. Two, if you have to get the open borders extension. Um, it just makes buying open borders when you're doing a culture game super easy. Instead of going into every leader screen and having to remember the 30 some odd turns that it takes for open borders to end, I just have to check this every once in a while if I'm doing a culture game and I want open borders. It's not like, once again, not like game breaking or anything. It's just super helpful. Finally, the trading gold. Is super nice here, because one, you can see how much you're getting per gold per turn right here. So if you're selling 1 gold, I'm getting 21 gold. If I'm selling 1 gold per turn, I'm getting 21 gold per turn. And you'll also see that as you go down, you can get more if you sell a single unit of gold. Sometimes that is much more in the early game. Late game, it usually gives you the 21.3. Once again, I will state this is not the best price. If you go in and do it manually, you can do better than the mod can. I did it for years with the iPad, and I learned it. But this is close enough to perfect that it's a huge time saver. So if you're looking to trade gold per turn, or alternatively, if you want to do the opposite and buy out all the AI's gold per turn, you have the option to do that as well. Once again, this is just time saver. It's infinitely better than having to go into the leader screen and make a deal and click, oh, I want to sell my gold per turn, and then just know that you're going to get about 22 gold per turn, so you can go to 223 probably, because there's the point 0.3 that the AI values. It's just a time saver. Like, my videos are already long enough. I don't need added things to make them longer. Next one, Envoy quest list. That's just this. It's a single screen that gives you every AI, not every AI, every city state quest. This is just much better for me. Once again, it's just a time saver. I can quickly pull this up if I'm looking. It gives you how many envoys you already have in the city state, and it gives you the quest right here. Train a tank, train AT crew, send them a trade route, and it groups them together, which is nice. In the ancient era, this is huge. If you're starting to get pinched for a golden age and you just are like, okay, can I get Caesarity? You can open up this really quick and at a single glance see everything. Way better than going in. And even with like this, I like going into the quest and all, like, because there's another mod that adds the quest underneath the city state, but this is just inefficient for me. I am very I get annoyed. As much as I like Civ 6, I get annoyed with how many menus there are. There doesn't need to be as many menus as there is. There's no reason that I should have to click on Yervon to see Yervon's quest. Okay, and then now I want to see Leventa's quest. They should have literally just had a quest panel in here. This is more user friendly, in my opinion. I'm a very big proponent of user friendly, especially in a game like this when you're playing for hours and hours and hours. I think it detracts from the fun, let's say, that if I want to find an envoy quest, I have to go through 3 different menus. That's not fun for me. The fun for me is the strategy and perfecting my civilization, not remembering what 3 menus I need to go in to find out what I need to do for envoys. Um, and then I have Great Works Viewer. This it looks very similar to the in-game Great Works Viewer, but it's better. One, you're able to go down to the specific buildings that can hold the type of art that you're looking for. So if you want to see what buildings can hold music, it'll just show those. So if you're trying to move music around to get the best tourism bonus, if you want to see what buildings can hold relics, if you want to see what buildings can hold writing, stuff like that, it's very easy to move art around because let's say I go to the music panel and there's some writing in here. I can quickly go to the writing panel and move the writing somewhere else to get music, which is much harder to spot in a sub 200 game culture game. It's almost impossible to spot great music because you're just not getting to the broadcast center to have placements for it. So to be able to quickly go, okay, what buildings can hold music, what's in them, and then move the current art out of there. The other really nice thing is if you go to the art, there's the theming and it color codes it. This doesn't work super well for me because I don't see color spectrum as clearly as other people. So this and this and this all look like the same. Like this is all the exact same color to me, but the fact that I can see the 91 versus the 192 and see that those are different is good enough to see that 22 and 22 and 22 are all the same. It is good enough for me. But I do understand that these are different shades very slightly, I've been told. But for me, I can see that this is a sculpture and this is religious. And then after that, you can just go, the number is the artist that made it. So as long as these three numbers are different, you'll theme it. If you're going to take the time to theme it, this is a huge time saver because it's really annoying to go, okay, this is by Donatello, this is by Michelangelo, and then check all the other sculptures you have and see if there's different ones. And it's once again, it's just quality of life. It makes everything better. Because it's not as finicky and the player doesn't have to remember as much. All right, now finally, I'm going to go into the big one, the one that probably gets that has caused the most people to ask this question. CQUI. This is it's very intrusive. Let's say that. I felt like I was completely relearning the game when I started using it. CQUI is what does all of this. It puts the population or the worker placement panel the second you click on the city. It puts the tile buying panel the second you open the city. I will be the first to say I don't like the layout that this provides. I feel like I'm using a blowtorch when I need a match, but I haven't found a better version of this. I would rather have too much of the information over here and just have my screen be like completely clustered rather than the old style where I had to go into the tile buying menu and then I had to go into the population placement menu, and then if I wanted to buy something with gold, I had to go in the gold buying menu, and if I wanted to go into the buy faith units, I had to go into the faith buying menu. I would rather that this be way more clustered, but give me the options I want than before when there was a different menu for every single thing, because all those clicks add up. And when you're spending hours and hours playing this game, this goes once again to I don't find fun in going into the gold bind menu and then into the faith menu and figuring out which way works out better for me to buy my next builder. I want to just see them side by side, and this is something I feel should have just been in the game. This provides the CQUI provides almost everything that is out of the ordinary. It adds better gossip panels. It takes out all the names and everything, and it just gives the very simple China declared war on Russia. China figured out diplomatic relation, our flight. Um, you know, also gives you the heads up. This is the last turn before your next civic is going to be completed by the Eureka for it. So it gives you a little heads up on that. But like I said, this is super intrusive. It comes with its own menu. I haven't even gone through a lot of this stuff, but it allows you to like really go into every aspect of the game and add stuff. I think it provides too much, but the number of things this provides, I would rather have. And have a little bit more cluster than not. This is also the mod that highlights the tribal villages. It also does this highlighting for can you put improvements down and stuff like that. It highlights the artifacts. Let me see if there's any tribal villages in game right now. I'll show the, oh, there's none. But it highlights the tile of a tribal village whenever you see them, stuff like that. So if unfortunately, there's a lot of people who like CQUI in its entirety. I actually, I think it's the best mod that I dislike parts of. If I'm being completely honest, I would like a scaled down version, but I vastly prefer this over the original user interface of the game, just because I hate the finicky menus of if I want to swap a tile and then buy a tile, I'd have to go into two different menus, and sometimes I'd have to go into two different cities. I don't have to do that now, and that is worth the little bit of inconvenience of clicking on this and then having every like menu pull up a different thing. I'm not such a big fan of that. But once again, I cannot suggest CQUI enough, just to eliminate all the extra menus that it took care of. Otherwise, that is basically all of the mods I am using and what they do. All of them, like I said, are just they're saving me clicks. They're saving me seconds each turn. That goes a long way to shorten my already ridiculously long videos. If you have any other questions, please drop them in the comments. There's a link to every single mod I use in the comments or in the description of this video as well. Otherwise, thank you and have a good day.